Licenses and Permits Committee. MCB4 has a hybrid policy that can be found on our website. Board members are expected to attend meetings in person unless they have a disability and or an extraordinary circumstance. Excused members and members of the public will still be able to participate virtually. Members who are joining via Zoom must leave their cameras on. And this meeting is being streamed live on our YouTube channel and a transcript is being recorded. My name is Wendy Gonzalez. I'm co-chair of the BLT committee.
And I'm Frank Halzubiak, the other co-chair.
And you're public member.
Teddy Venus, public member. Thomas Garza, member.
Tina Nelson, member.
Alan Austin, member.
Christine Birthday, member.
James McDonald, member.
Okay, just some housekeeping. First, to remind the committee and I guess everybody else, our November meeting is going to be a week later than usual. It's going to be on November 18th, because the 11th is, I guess, Veterans Day. So just put that in your calendar. We've had several changes to the agenda. Agenda item 8, 367 West 36th Street is postponed. And the item after that, 453 West 17th, has withdrawn. So those two will not be heard tonight. If anyone online is waiting for those two. And then we're adding two non-applicant items for a brief discussion at the end of the meeting. One will be whether this committee wants to make any community board budget requests to the city budget. And the second is whether we're going to comment on new proposed legislation that would amend the open dining rules. So we will do those at the end of the meeting. Also, in this venue, we have to disassemble and lock up all the audiovisual equipment. So if anyone wants to stick us a few minutes to stick around and help with that, that'll be great. Fascinating process. So I think everyone knows we go through the agenda one by one. We'll hear from each applicant in turn. We'll then take questions and comments from the committee and then open it up to anyone from the community watching. If anyone online wants to be heard on a particular applicant, when we call that applicant, please use the raise hand function and we will then move you into the meeting at an appropriate time. I want to stress that this committee, and in fact, the community board, is only advisory. We have no power to grant or deny a liquor license or an outdoor dining license. This committee will make a recommendation to the full board, and the full community board 4 will take its own vote on this on its next meeting on November 5. And then those recommendations will go either to the state liquor authority or the Department of Transportation. But again, they're only recommendations. So
Great. Jump right in then.
Is this thing moving around?
It's moving around, yeah.
It is, okay.
All right, so we are going to start with our wine, beer, and cider applications. Number 1 is 856 10th Avenue, the Gin Kitchen. If the applicant is on, please come off mute or raise your hand so we can bring you over as our panelist.
That's Sung Chow.
Hello. Just go ahead and tell us a little bit about your application.
Zoom show.
Yeah.
They're on mute. I asked them to unmute.
So, Chow, if you want to come back off mute and talk about 856 10th Avenue, feel free. You're currently on mute. Again, please send the applicant for 856 10th Avenue, the Gin Kitchen, come off of mute, please. There we go. Now we see you. We're still on mute, but you're still on mute. Hello.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is Hong Chanjo. Good evening.
Hello.
Can you please tell us a little bit about your application?
Hello?
Hi, yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
hear you, but not clearly. I'm sorry.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about your application?
Yeah. My name is Song-chan Cho. I'm representing the Jean Kitchen Corporation. The Jean Kitchen Corporation is located 856 10th Avenue, New York, which is purchasing an existing restaurant business from current to the license holder, which has a wine and beer license, which has been serving Korean food to the community for several years. We intended to continue operating as a Korean restaurant, maintaining the same community-oriented atmosphere and menu style. Our concept focuses on authentic home-style Korean cuisine, prepared with the fresh ingredient and presented in a family-friendly environment. No music or live entertainment will be played at the premises. We believe that New York City's diversity is reflected in its food culture, and we hope to contribute to that diversity by offering high-quality Korean cuisine as part of the city's wide variety of international food. We are committed to operating responsibly, complying with all applicable laws and the community standard, and maintaining good relationship with our neighbors. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Does the committee have any questions? Janine, do we have any hands raised online? Do we have any members of the public with a question?
There are no hands raised.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we have a motion?
Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Fantastic. All right, that passes. Thank you very much for coming. And that also reminds me, I was remiss in our introduction to two fabulous board members who are also joining us via Zoom tonight, Carrie Keenan and Mike Phillips.
And the new person, the new person.
Hey there.
You want to introduce yourself to them?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hey there, Brendan McGrath. I just joined back in June now, so nice to see you.
Thanks so much. All right, that passes. Thank you much, Mr. Cho.
Thank you.
All right, now we're moving into our new liquor, wine, beer and cider application section. Number 245 West 16th Street, Cafe Redomar, Inc. If you're-
Michael Kelly. Sorry.
Perfect. Michael, go for it.
Okay, so this is an on-premise liquor license for Cafe Retomar Inc., doing business as Cafe Riazor. I don't know if I said that right. Located at 245 West 16th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue. The current owner's son and daughter are taking over the restaurant from their parents. Both the son and daughter have been working there since 1989, managing it, 36 years. There'll be no changes to the current operation, same menu, 12 tables, 43 seats, 12 bar stools, backroom music, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week. That's pretty much it.
Mike, you didn't circle any music on the stiff floor. Are they gonna have any music?
Just background.
Okay, so I'm gonna circle that, okay?
Okay.
Any questions from the committee? All right, Janine, do we have any hands raised? Any questions from the community?
No, no hands.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, that passes. Thank you very much, Michael.
Okay, thank you.
All right, moving right along to number 308 West 46th Street, Out of the Box Theatrics Inc. And then I saw Elizabeth, looks like you're from Out of the Box.
Yes, good
So-
evening. Anthony Caraballo also here with Elizabeth, the representative for Out of the Box. Good evening, everybody. This
Yes,
is
thank you.
simultaneous filing for beer and wine and full liquor for St. Luke's Theater. The prior licensee we filed about 2 years ago. I also filed that application. They've left the premises, and Elizabeth, who's the founding producer of this not-for-profit, is going in and we're making a filing right now. The hours of operation are 12 to 12 daily. There will be 10 tables of 25 seats, 2 bars with 15 seats. The main bar will be inside the performance area, and there'll also be a small bar in the lobby for a convenience component. But we'd love to address any questions the committee might have. Thank you.
Yeah, one question. You circled live music on the stipulation form. Is the live music only in connection with performances or?
Yes, sir. That's specific to the performances.
Okay, so can we add a stipulation that says live music will only be in connection with, the scheduled performances?
That's fine.
Okay, and I'm curious about one thing, and I guess because you're actually in a church, but the reason the 200-foot rule doesn't apply, I assume, is because there are businesses like theaters in that church building. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously something's going on because it's on Restaurant Row and there are about 50 liquor licenses within 200 feet. But
Absolutely. I've done a few on the block as well. So by virtue of the statute, it's got to be solely used as a church or a school. And the application premises is within the church, which takes it out of the 200-foot rule.
okay.
Any other questions from the committee?
What is in that space right now? The theater is in that space already?
Correct. There's a theater. There's been a theater there, actually. The prior occupant was Playhouse 46. They were there for 2 years. They had a license. And prior to that, it was St. Luke's Theater for about 2 decades.
Good.
I noticed that the outdoor is listed. Can you speak to that? I thought this was all indoor. There's outdoor hours.
I didn't quite hear you well. Sorry.
There's outdoor hours listed, but I didn't see any outdoor
No,
they have.
there'll be no outdoor space.
on the times.
Oh, yeah, on the times, but they have none.
So
None.
right,
So should we
Yeah.
cross that out?
Cross it out.
Yeah, so we're gonna change on the stip form. You did put outdoor hours, so we'll cross those out, okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
Good catch.
Any other questions from the committee? Do we have any hands raised online?
No hand.
I have one more question, I'm sorry. They said they are going to use a storm enclosure.
No, there'll be no storm enclosure there. You go down the steps into the basement, and there's a separate and distinct area dedicated to the
So
theater.
you just need to.
All right, so we're gonna change the answer to that question to no as well, if that's okay.
Yeah. Please.
All right, with no hands raised online, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Which will give a second. Okay, all those in favor?
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, you as well. All right, number 4, 349 West 46th Street, Jazz Cultural LLC. If you are from the app. If you're part of this applicant, please come off mute.
That's Mike Wilner.
Hello.
Mike, go ahead and tell us a little bit about your application.
We are taking over the business that currently exists there, Swing 46. That's been a music venue for the last 30 years. I'm currently the owner of 2 music venues downtown, Smalls Jazz Club and Mesro. Both are acoustic jazz music venues with liquor licenses. We've been running those 17 years in the village. John, the current owner of Swing 46, is known to us professionally and also as a friend, and it was discussed that he wanted to retire. We wanted to just assume his business. We'll rebrand with a new name, but essentially keep all the operation the same.
Gonna set it better myself. Hey, Mike.
Hi, Frank. Hey, welcome.
Hey, Frank, how are you?
Good to see you. So this, as you saw in the form, has some outdoor space, but it is in the front of the building. Like a lot of these places on Restaurant Row, they have like a sunken front yard that's been there and has been used all along. So I took a look at it, as I think you did as well. It wouldn't seem to present any issues if, you know, if we don't hear from anyone from the community. The one thing, Frank or Mike, I know, the prior operator sort of tended to blare music from outdoor speakers that used to be really loud. You could hear it across the street. So you're not going to use any outdoor speakers on.
No, we don't
so-
intend to have any music going to the street. We're very
Okay.
conscientious of our street presence from the years of work in Greenwich Village, where they're really very critical of that. And we've worked diligently with our community board down there to make sure that's not an issue.
Okay, so we'll have an additional step that just say there'll be no outdoor speakers or, you know, outdoor amplified sound, okay?
Understood.
And then, just one technical question, you didn't circle any music on the STIP form, I assume you're gonna have background music and live music?
Yes.
Yes, we're a music venue. That
Okay.
will just as Swing 46 did, which was live bands, and then on the break some you know, music on the stereo.
So I have.
Okay. Any other questions from the committee? Do you agree with anybody that raised hand online?
Yeah, I brought over Mike Freeman.
Can you hear me and see me?
We can hear you, Mike.
Can hear you, not see. Oh, there I see.
Yeah.
Now I can see it too.
Okay, hi Spike, this is Mike Freeman. We've met a few times over the years. I'm a longtime resident of Hell's Kitchen.
Great to meet you.
I have for many years attended CB4 ACES committee meetings and advocated for the inclusion of local musicians and artists on programming at venues, parks, and new building complexes to the neighborhood because of the extraordinary change that has happened here. On one hand, you were saying you were going to continue as what was going on there. I'm wondering if stylistically, musically stylistically, are you going to keep it the same, or are you going to do more like what you do at Smalls? That's the first question.
I think, in all fairness, we'll probably incorporate a different booking concept than what John was presenting. We will tap into all the resources that we have from Smalls and Mesro in terms of our jazz community and the breadth of that. You know, one thing about especially Midtown is that we will certainly be tapping the local talent. I mean, just Manhattan Plaza alone has some of the greatest musicians that alive today in there. So we'll be very glad to work with the community, of course, to represent the neighborhood as well as New York City, for sure.
Great. I'm really happy to hear you say that. I was going to ask if there would be any commitment to hiring local groups and musicians. I know that you hire a bunch of them at Smalls already, so
yes,
hopefully there will be some others who have not appeared at Smalls or who are from the neighborhood.
Well, you know, also the mission of this new venue is also to expand. We call ourselves Jazz Cultural. It's a tip of the hat to the great Barry Harris, who was my teacher. And Jazz Cultural will, of course, have the music, the jazz that we represent down from Smalls, but we're also going to embrace some of the jazz-related art forms. You know, it might be tap dance or even some spoken word. We're gonna see how we can utilize the space to the best usage for the culture of the city, and that's kind of what we're trying for here.
Great.
We're really afraid of a space like that just becoming left to the wayside after so many years of it being a music venue. We'd hate to see that lost to another venue in New York. Lost.
Right. I can understand that and appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Mike.
Sir?
I'm sorry.
I just thank you for letting us know that. That was interesting to hear.
Thank you.
Janine, anybody else?
No more hands.
I can attest that Smalls, the two venues in the village are very well managed.
Great.
Thank you for saying that.
All
Yep.
right.
And we will be bringing that staff to Midtown, by the way. That same organization we have out there is going to be working with us in Midtown.
All right, we have no additional comments, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Your second, right, all those in favor? Mike Noble, you as well?
Aye. Yeah.
Great. Okay, that passes, thanks very much and good luck.
Thank you very much, and thank you, the board.
Okay, number 5, 742 9th Avenue Pride ETM Group.
Yeah, as people remember, this is one that we heard from last month. It's the bar that wants to open on 9th and 50th Street. One of the issues was this had been a prior gay bar called Boxers, but they want to use the roof. Actually, they're building a second floor, then there's a roof on top of that. We asked them to adjourn a month to meet with, in particularly the Worldwide Plaza tenants and the 4954 Block Block Alliance. We do have an email from that meeting did happen. 4954 Alliance had a meeting, a representative of Worldwide Plaza came. They seem to have worked things out, but let's hear from the applicant if anyone's here live, and then otherwise I'll read the email, which folks probably saw in the Dropbox.
Hi, I'm here.
Pat.
Frank Palillo also.
They gotta log me in again, probably.
Yeah, we can hear you all.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Yep, good to be back. Seems like it's a weekly thing here.
Monthly.
Monthly, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
met
we
with.
did- Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
What?
We did meet with the neighbors last month, as you guys have requested, and it was a very productive meeting. I think everyone came away happy with the result. Would you agree, Paul?
Yep. And we met some more as we were outside last week as well. We met some more tenants from that building and addressed any of their concerns as well.
I think the meeting helped clear up any misconceptions or concerns the neighbors might have had.
Janine, is anyone anyone have their hand raised about this?
No, there's no hands up right now.
Okay, so the email we got from 4954 said they talked about the prior issues with noise concerns and doors and windows leaving open. The applicant addressed these issues, hired a sound engineering company. The roof area would be sit-down dining only with extended parapet walls to provide additional soundproofing. The second floor would be allowed with no possibilities of windows being open. The first floor would be for dining and all doors and windows would be closed if any amplified sound is being played. They're looking for 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. There's concern about the roof, but the applicant said there'd be no amplified sound on the roof and it would close at 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. Friday, Saturday. There was concern with queuing at the entrance. The applicant did a good job of addressing these concerns, stated he didn't want to be a problem. The Worldwide Plaza person felt the responses were adequate in addressing the concerns of Worldwide Plaza residents. So did Paul or Frank, did any new issues come up with people from Worldwide Plaza?
At the meeting, no. There were concerns, but we addressed everything.
Okay.
I think everyone left the meeting satisfied.
Okay, so based on this email, I guess I'd like to have some additional steps. The roof will be used for sit-down dining only. There'll be no music or amplified sound on the roof. And there are no windows on the second floor that can be opened. So that sound good to you?
Yep, that's it. That's fine. Perfect.
And you've already agreed to the usual steps of closing the roof at 10 p.m. on weekdays, 11. Yeah, and to close the doors and windows inside. So I think we've covered the community concerns in that email.
The question becomes the rooftop bar, is it going to be service bar only, or is it going to be a sitting bar for the customers?
Service bar.
Is that something that makes everyone for
Yeah, we should ask. Paul, what kind of bars on the roof?
Well, I want to do a regular bar, like I think it's 6 or 8 seats that are on the plan. It's a sitting, sitting bar, no TVs, no sound system.
It's 8 bar stools.
8 bar stools. It kind of comes down to, I got no issue with people having to sit. It's if you look at it this way, right? If a single person does go up there on the roof and they sit at a table for 4, let's say, that table's kind of dead then. So for the 2s and 3s, they can jump on the tables of 4, 3s, whatever way we point them. But for the single person, it's just going to be easier to put them at a bar. It's the same difference if they're sitting at a table. And it's a smaller bar than what was there from boxers, I think, and it's on the opposite side. So that's one way. That's one way the engineer worked on the sound issue as well.
Okay, would you agree that you'll only allow seated patrons up to 8 people at that bar on the roof?
Yeah, that's not a problem. And I spoke to 2 other tenants in that building as well. That they live directly across. So there was one real nice lady last week, and brought her around, showed her a few things, and that was one of the biggest concerns they had. And even though we have the license till 10 during the week and 11 on the weekends, that's fantastic. We probably won't have people up there past like 9 o'clock, because if, let's say the bar gets busy on a Friday or Saturday, Rise, I'm sure the same thing, around 8:30, 9 o'clock is when they start getting busy. You don't want to have your bar busy downstairs and then try to get the people on the roof a spot. So we're probably going to be walking or encouraging people to come down off that roof, if there is people up there, 8:30, 9 o'clock. So it's not a thing. It's more mainly for the day and the evening time, just to enjoy the weather while we have it. And the rest is that, it's not what it was. I keep saying it, not boxers.
Are you okay if it's limited to 8 people seating?
Well, as long as we don't have the crowd around the bar.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you understand what we mean, that once 8 people sit down, they can't have people standing around with them. It's
for license purposes, a service bar doesn't need a license, right? It's only a license. You can have a satellite bar without a license. Right?
Yeah, no, yeah,
Wait, Paul.
License, at some point, people can go up there and stand if they want.
It's a 16-foot bar with 8 bar stools.
What?
It's a 16-foot bar with 8 bar stools. There's no place for people to stand.
No, behind that, I mean, you know how it works on the bar, is you have 8 and each person has 3 around them.
16 feet is a big size bar.
Right.
8 people to be sitting for a service
The
bar.
rule is 2 feet per bar stool.
Yeah, but just the point is that, you can have a crowd around the bar. And then it's, once you have sitting and serving, then you can have a crowd and it becomes very rowdy.
okay.
That's all.
But so, Frank and Paul, I mean, so just so you know, our understanding is all you're gonna allow is 8 people sitting there, and you will.
And no one's.
In other words, the easiest way to do it is just limit the capacity on the roof to people who can sit down.
That's exactly
You've already agreed that everyone will have to be seated at a table or the bar, but you don't let any more people up there,
You
right?
could also chop the bar in half and make an extra community table for people to sit.
Well, what we've kind of come up with this is going on about a month now and a half, trying to figure out different levels. But yeah, the bar is that length, but some of it does get used for a service bar because you've got to serve the tables. We are going to have a host on that roof to make sure, because obviously we all know what it was and what you need to get done. We'll have somebody on the roof sitting people down as well. And then if the seating at the bar is 6, 7, or 8, that's all it's going to be there. That's it. They'll get asked to move and sit down somewhere else.
But with all due respect, Frank, I think we're beating a dead horse. If we've already agreed to only seated patrons on the roof.
Yeah, okay.
That's fair.
All right.
Can you add in the specification that they will extend the parapet?
Oh, sure.
To isolate the sound, right?
Yeah. Frank, you okay with that? That you're going to extend the parapet or heighten the parapet walls?
I think we were doing that anyway, weren't we?
Yeah, there's a building code, right? So it's between, I think SW is on here.
Yes. So I'm Chen, working for SWA Architecture. There's only so high we can go with the parapet, but we're going as high as we're allowed to go without,
Which is what?
8 feet,
Okay.
but we're
Okay.
going 6 feet above, so you know, we don't want to trigger anything with the city that will count this as an enclosed space. So we're doing everything we're going far and beyond what's required by the city limit in order to kind of mitigate the noise on the roof.
Okay, so we'll have an additional step that says applicant will raise height of parapet walls on the roof to the extent permitted by law.
Yes.
Okay? All right.
Any other questions from the committee? Janine, do we have any hands raised online?
Yeah, I'm bringing over Alan and Susan.
Okay, thanks.
Hello, are we talking about the Citizens Restaurant on 9th Avenue?
We're not there yet.
What are we talking about?
We're in item number 5, 742 9th Avenue.
We're probably 45 minutes or an hour away from citizens. It's at the end of the agenda.
Okay, so then I'll talk afterwards. Thank you. So what
Okay.
restaurant are we talking about?
Number 6.
Number 5, Pride ETM Group.
742 9th Avenue. 9th Avenue and 50th Street.
Oh, okay, uptown. Okay, no problem. Thank you. I'll speak later. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And then I think there was an Alan who's being brought over.
Yeah, Alan C.
Alan C, you've been brought over as a panelist. If you'd like to speak, just come off mute, please. Again, Alan C, if you'd like to comment on this applicant, please come off of mute.
He's right there, up there.
Yeah.
Alan, I think we're gonna move on.
Yeah, hello?
Okay,
Hello?
hello. Yes, hello.
Sorry, I'm on the phone while kind of driving. My name is Alan Chun. We manage the property next door for 744 9th Avenue. We got some concerns with this. We were not approached by this group. I don't know. I listened to a little bit of it. I think they had a meeting with the building across the street, so that's One Worldwide Plaza. That's fine. I'm happy you guys talked to them, but you guys didn't talk to us nor 365 West 50th Street, the one with the French restaurant on the bottom. So you have that's across the street, and then you have 744 our building that's right next to that adjoins this rooftop area, and then on the back side also is 365 West 50th Street. So a tenant of ours actually brought this up, but we also know the owner for this property as well, because they raised this they created another floor. So I'm a little surprised that nobody contacted us about this. I saw the postings. I'm not at the building like every day, but like I don't know how long this application's been running, but there was no attempt to contact us, and we're right next to it. And then you have an engineer. Yeah, go ahead.
I thought someone from your building spoke at the meeting last month. Does anyone else remember that?
Yeah, that was Alan, I think, as well. I think it's the same name.
Yeah, he lives on the 3rd floor. His name's Alan Roca. Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah, so what are the issues you have, Alan?
I mean, like, it's a rooftop bar. I mean, or rooftop area. I guess the noise, we're not sure how that's gonna work exactly. You got the roof kind of goes to the, I think, 2nd or third floor of our building. So we have a shaft that's kind of, you have windows that are exposed on the third, fourth, and fifth floors. So, I mean, how are you gonna prevent the noise? I mean, yeah, you got capacity, you'll restrict capacity, but I mean, like, I'd like to know more details about that. I'd also like to know that about how this parapet would be created because that architect said 8 feet higher or something. So that's gonna that's gonna impact us as well.
Well, as you probably heard, the way the roof, they're proposing to operate the roof is it would be limited to 52 people up there at any one time. Everyone would need to be seated. There's no outdoor music or amplified sound, and it would close no later than 10 p.m. on weekdays and 11 p.m. on weeknights. 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday.
Okay, and then the liquor license would be, they're asking until like 4 in the morning or something like that, or?
Inside till 4 a.m. And again, this is probably slightly more limited than what was there previously, because the previous operator, Boxers, used the roof with bigger capacity, and they also had a 4 a.m. license indoors.
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, there were some incidents.
Yeah.
I mean, like, uh, I just don't want there to be incidents. That's all, I mean, I don't personally live there. So,
Well, is there anything more besides what the applicant has agreed to about the roof? Is there anything more you would suggest?
I mean, I haven't been, I know that the inside has been, the first floor has been completely, I walked through that space with the owner before when they were doing the work. They created an elevator shaft on the back side. I don't know the insulation that's been put in place. I don't know the specifications of what they did inside. I think like, yeah, to give them credit, it was okay when, it was Boxers, but that was completely what the renovations in that first level has been completely gutted, like, I don't know, brand new. So I don't know what type of insulation they have or sound barriers that they're proposing.
Well, and I think this applicant has been here a couple of times now and has spoken to quite a few neighbors. So I think the best course of action, since you have so much familiarity with the building and you have quite a few questions, is if you email the MCB4 Manhattan Community Board 4 office, we can put you in touch with the applicant, and I would imagine, Paul, that you'd be happy to chat with Alan and answer more of these specific questions. And I recommend that you do that before our next full board meeting, when the whole board takes a full vote on this application. In case there are additional concerns that come up, and you can feel free then to come to that meeting and share those thoughts, but I think that's probably our best course of action, because the applicant has answered a lot of these questions for other neighbors as well, so I would assume he'll be happy to do so for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can leave my contact, but more contact information was on the HPD website as well. So we never got.
If you go to the Manhattan Community Board 4 website, you'll see the contact information for reaching our office, and they're happy to put you in touch. It's probably the most straightforward way.
So when I logged in, it was CL Management 9Av. I registered that email, and then I got an automated email from this Jesse Odin.
Jesse Bodine.
Yeah,
you can email.
Bodine.
You can email Jesse Bodine. He'll direct it.
Okay.
Just put in the email what you're emailing about, and he will get you to the right place.
Okay, so I'm on. So who's the applicant? I didn't share my camera. There's an Andy Carlick. They're the operators.
Well, we have Paul Fogarty on the meeting with us now, as well as their lawyer.
And Andy
Paul,
too.
I assume.
Andy too. He just doesn't.
Paul,
Yeah, that's great.
Here too.
And I think, Alan, if you just want to email, you can email Jesse Bodine and just say this is in reference to the BLP meeting on October 14th and, item 742 9th Avenue. And he'll be able to help direct to get the right contact info.
And then the office will put you in touch with the applicant and they will reach out to you, right? Paul or.
Yeah,
Paul,
yeah,
right?
for sure. We've met with the pasta restaurant. Those guys, we see them every day, and we have left notices.
You guys met with the French restaurant people?
Yeah, they actually chimed in on Instagram, wishing us the best of luck going forward. The building is night and day from the time you've seen it. No construction yet, but the plans and soundproofing is second to none. I'll definitely walk you through the spot, talk to you over the phone, and we'll get on from there.
I think we have a new plan.
Yeah, actually, can I ask one question, please? When is the date of the full board meeting, please?
November 5. November 5.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Okay, so subject to.
Yeah, so we have all the steps. Yeah, so we have the steps about sit-down dining on the roof, seated patrons at the roof bar only, no music amplified sound on the roof, no windows that can be opened on the second floor, and the applicant will raise height of the parapet walls to the extent permitted by law.
And the first floor the second floor doesn't open, the first floor.
They've already agreed to that, that's the standard stip on closing doors and windows.
The only thing I can see is that if there are residents on the third floor and they are right on the level of the new, the new rooftop. That's going to be an issue, but I mean, we don't have to address that now, but.
I mean, my thing about that is that the guy that does live on the third floor did come and they worked out their issues. The other problem is this guy doesn't sound like he lives in the building, so I don't know.
Right, he's the managing agent.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know, some of the building is Airbnb, so I don't know,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I think.
Okay.
Motion to approve with the stipulations.
Second.
All those in favor? Carrie, Mike?
Sorry, yay.
Right. Thank you. Mike, are you also a yay? What are you?
Yeah, I am. Trying to unmute. Thanks, bye.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much for all of your cooperation and best of luck.
Thank you, guys. Have a good month.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
All right, and moving on to item number 6, 35 Hudson Yards, floors 15 through 29, also known as 560 West 33rd Street.
Yes. Hi, Wendy. Max Bookman, Pazetsky and Bookman PC. Nice to see everybody. We have a Pazetsky and Bookman doubleheader tonight with 2 hotels. This is the Hudson Yards Equinox Hotel, and right after this one, my colleague Phil Dorn, who needs to get promoted on the attendees list, will do the hotel across from the Javits Center. If I could also kindly have 2 people promoted, it's Toshi Fuji. He's an attendee currently. He is with Mori Trust, who I'll introduce in a moment. And then Jeff Rednor, he is with Equinox. Both of them have their hands raised and they're with me. So this is a liquor license application for the Equinox Hotel at 35 Hudson Yards. The Equinox Hotel is an open and operating hotel. It opened with the rollout of the entire Hudson Yards neighborhood in 2017, 2018. You approved it then with stipulations. What's happening is the building is being sold. Related, which is the current owner of the building, is selling it to Mori Trust. Mori Trust is a household name in Japanese real estate. They are a major real estate company in Japan. They are a reputable company with a long history. They were founded in 1970, very stable, and they're purchasing the property. Because of that, because the liquor license is held by the property owner, we need to get a new liquor license. So we're doing this as a transfer application. With that said, from a public-facing perspective, nothing is changing. So the current hotel operator, which is Equinox, is staying exactly the same. It's Equinox. The current restaurant operator, which is the Star Group, operating the Electric Lemon restaurant, on the 15th floor. That's staying exactly the same. Those entities are on the current outgoing license, and they're going to be on the new incoming license. Because of that, we're looking to have the same stipulations. We dusted off the old stips from 2017 or 2018. We transposed them onto your new 2025 form. But from a substantive perspective, we're hoping to keep everything the same. And with that, we're happy to answer any questions.
I just want to flag in what Max says is correct. One thing I wanted to flag is that on the original steps, we were okay with the 15th floor terrace being open till 2 a.m. But that was something that was agreed to on the steps originally.
Any questions from the committees? Denise, do you have any questions online?
No, no questions.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That passes.
Thank you very much. Before I leave, just two very quick housekeeping points. We're going to be sending your office a new revised 30-day notice for this matter. There was a typo. One of the entities on the license, we put it as ESQ management. It's supposed to be EQX management. We got it right on the form, on the STIP form, but the 30-day notice doesn't match. And the liquor authority is going to give us trouble for that. So we're going to send you a new 30-day notice, and we'll explain all that in an email too.
We don't have to do anything in response to that, correct?
No, you don't have to do anything.
Right.
And then just second, really quick housekeeping. I heard that you added an item to the end of the agenda on the outdoor dining legislation. Are you taking public comment on that?
If you want to hang on, sure.
Okay, I will if you're taking public comment. I don't want to wait till the end if you're not
We
going.
take public comment on everything.
Okay, well then I will see you at the end of the agenda then.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Good night, everyone.
All right, moving on to number 7, 450 11th Avenue. Endeavor Hospitality LLC.
That's Tom.
Yes, I'm here.
There's also
Phil Dorn.
yeah, is he here?
Yes, he needs to be promoted from the attendee list.
Can you move Phil over?
Yeah, is John Lucy also with you?
John Delucci is here also.
All right. Thank you, Tom and Frank and everyone else for promoting me. All right. So I obviously see Tom, and I see that John Delucci is also being promoted. So let's get going. Thank you, Max, for the kind introduction. But just to restate, I'm Phil Dorn with Pizetsky and Bookman, attorney for the applicant. With me are Tom Xavier, the COO of Endeavor Hospitality, and John Delucci from M Hotel Management, who will be running the food and beverage at the hotel. This is an application for a new hotel liquor license at 450 11th Avenue, which is on the east side of 11th Avenue between 36th and 37th Streets, directly across from the Javits Center. This hotel has been under construction for several years now, I think dating back all the way to 2019, with a target opening date of early 2026. The hotel will service the conference and convention attendees and other out-of-towners looking to stay close to the Javits Center. It is directly across the street. Outside of perhaps the hotel that you just heard Max speak about a second ago, the Equinox Hotel, which I'd say caters more to the Highline Hudson Yards tourism crowd. This is really the only hotel in the direct vicinity of that will serve the convention and conference goers on a regular basis. There are a few F&B spaces that I would like to walk you through. I'll give basically a broad overview of each one, and then we can go into more detail if needed. I think it's probably best just to go from the bottom of the building northwards. I think that's the simplest way to do it. So starting at the bottom, first is the downstairs bar space. That will be found in the basement of the hotel. There is no access to this space from the ground level. It will most often be used for corporate hangouts. In fact, it even includes a golf simulator for people who want to hit some balls and kind of decompress after a long day at the Javits Center. Though likely not necessary, it's worth noting that this space is fully soundproofed. The next, moving up, is the lobby bar. This is going to be on the ground floor and is your standard lobby bar. I can give more details about it, but that's just a broad overview. It's a standard bar with lounge seating surrounding in the lobby. Moving up to the second floor is a standard hotel ballroom event space, not used on a regular basis, but used for private events. And then lastly is the fourth floor, which is the restaurant. This will be a high-end Italian restaurant with John at the helm. John, who has worked at renowned restaurants, including Oceana and the Waverly Inn. There is an outdoor terrace attached on this fourth floor, which will have seating for restaurant guests. The terrace overlooks 11th Avenue, so it stares directly at the Javits Center. It's not on one of the residential blocks. Not that there even are residences on 36th or 37th on this block, but it's worth noting that it overlooks 11th Avenue. The request is for the hours of operation for all the F&B spaces in the hotel to be 2 a.m. each night, with the fourth floor outdoor space closing at midnight. Music will be background music only on all floors. The exception of which is just we ask for DJs for private buyouts. The basement is not some nightclub. It's not, it won't be DJs, won't be ticketed events, won't be queuing outside, anything like that. It's background music only. As I mentioned, only DJs for private events. That's all we would ask for. These events would mostly be in the ballroom on the second floor, though once in a while, there may be a buyout of the restaurant space or the downstairs space. We would like to leave that open if possible. There would of course be no music on the fourth floor terrace. So I know I just threw a ton of information at you. I'm sure there are questions about each of the spaces or some of them individually. But the last thing I'd like to add before flipping it back over to the committee is that these guys did a lot of outreach. They sent out emails to several block associations and other local stakeholders. Those emails were in the packet that we submitted. No one responded to the emails with any objections or pushback. I know these guys did do a walkthrough with Wendy, I believe. So if she has anything to say, if she's here tonight, I, of course, will leave that to her. But otherwise, I will turn it back over to you.
Yep. Yeah, I did a walkthrough. It's very straightforward. It was a good description. I mean, at the end of the day, this outdoor space is on 11th Avenue. It was a little loud, even just the three of us out there. So, and it's looking directly at Javits. There really are no neighbors. The operator seems extremely tenured, and it's hotel rooms above them. So they are incentivized to not have this be a noisy location. The basement area is completely in the basement, and as you said, there's like a couple of golf simulators, and otherwise the restaurant itself seems pretty straightforward. So really no concerns from my end.
Thank you.
But any questions from the committee? And Jenny, do you have any questions or hands raised online?
No, no hands.
Then I will.
Motion to approve.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Great. So item 8.
Thank you
very much. Good luck.
So
Thank you.
they are going to finish hotel, or they are just the operator? Who is the group that we just talked to? Well,
I think. It's a good question.
okay.
Are you the operator of the hotel as well, or just?
Hey, let me jump in and answer. I think Phil, as I trained him to, left the second you approved him, because there's not supposed to be not supposed to be any questions after that. The question is, who's the operator? Is that right?
No, the question is the group we just talked to is the owner of the building, and are they going to finish the building?
Tom, you want to speak to that?
Yes, we are owner and operator. the management company for this hotel.
So therefore, the opening date of 26 is a firm date now?
Yes, the target date, although that could move some, but yes, it will open in 26. Right now, Q1 of 26.
And I did see some of the hotel rooms, so they are looking like they're real rooms they have. Definitely. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Thanks. Item 8 is postponed. Item 9 is withdrawn.
Move ahead to item 10. 690 10th Avenue.
Yeah.
We dance the living room.
Right, and
In here.
right, so again, people remember that this gentleman has a bakery on on 690 10th Avenue, wants to open a speakeasy in the back in the evenings. We asked them to adjourn to meet with the 4954 Block Alliance and also to get a sound study. They've since emailed the board to say that they were having trouble finding an acoustic engineer, but they did do soundproofing. They sent us, this was in the Dropbox, they sent us a letter from the acoustical person about the work they did. More importantly, they had an email from someone who lives on the second floor of the building who says they were not being bothered by any noise since the soundproofing and were happy with what was done.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had a couple of questions though. The form we have still has the hours of 2 AM and 4 AM, but I believe you've been telling everyone it's really gonna be earlier hours, right? It's gonna be 11 Sunday to Thursday and 2 on Friday and Saturday. All right, so I'll change the form. And the other thing, and we may have talked about this last.
About it with my lawyer.
Yeah, and we may have talked about this last time, but you said you're gonna have, in addition to background music, you're gonna have live music.
No, yeah, I have only the piano, but very easy, no microphone.
Okay, so can we say it's gonna be live
And only
music?
for the weekend.
So we can say the live music will be limited to piano?
It's only.
So we'll put that down. And how about the DJ? What were you thinking about? No DJ, so I'm gonna.
Because there is a vintage style.
Yeah, so I'll cross that out on the phone.
And the jazz, very.
It's 1920s, 30s music.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. All right. So I'll make those changes on the form. Just to close the loop on all this, so 4954 Block Association was happy with this. They said they were fine, but they would defer to El Kafirs and the 47th Street Block Association. She had sent an email before the last meeting raising concerns, particularly about soundproofing. So she and I emailed and said, given what they've done, she doesn't have further concerns with the location. So the two relevant block associations are happy with this. Is there anything more you'd like to tell us, or I thank you for all you did. It sounds like this worked exactly as we hoped it would.
So you change the hours?
We're gonna change the hours and we'll have
Yeah, change it.
yeah.
Any questions from the committee? Janine, do we have anyone online?
No, no hands.
All right, so the big changes of the hours are 11 PM Sunday to Thursday, 2 AM Friday and Saturday. No DJ, and live music will be limited to 1 PM.
All right, with that, I will entertain a motion.
Motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. That passes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for coming in person. Appreciate it. Good luck.
For come.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Please.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you in person.
All right, so moving on to item number 11, 660 12th Avenue, Hell's Kitchen Pickleball LLC. If you are from item 11, please feel free to come off of mute and tell us a little about your application.
This is Steve Richter from Helsinki Pickleball. We're applying for an upgrade from the existing beer and wine license to a full on-premise liquor license. Nothing about the establishment is changing. Still the same hours of operation, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. No live music.
Thanks. So I visited this actually at the time of the original beer and wine license because I remember meeting you. Thanks. Hi there. Good to see you again.
How you doing?
Glad things are going well. They do have a terrace, but it's not near anything that it can remotely bother. There's no music. I think it's basically a daytime amenity with pickleball courts. So we've heard no complaints since it has been open. So I don't see any issues with this.
Any questions from the committees? Janine, do you have anyone online?
No, nobody.
Okay.
Motion.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're gonna be early tonight.
That was perfect. That was.
So my first things today.
All right.
Thank you everyone for your time.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, moving ahead to item number 12, 412 West 15th Street. TS Dev NPD 2 LLC. If you're from 412 West 15th, feel free to come off mute.
That's Mark.
Yes. Good evening. Excuse me. Good evening, everyone.
You're becoming a regular here.
I know. It's good to see you again. Yeah, you guys actually first community board I ever worked with, probably 5-6 years ago, maybe even more. Maybe it's like 8, I forget. But
Yes, and we did scare you away.
not well, you scared me, just not away. So, so I should be joined here by Alex Tobolsky, who's, there he is, general counsel for the applicant, as well as Keith Roche, who may be joining as well. This is a restaurant application at as you mentioned, 412 West 15th Street. And there'd be 53 tables, 190 seats, 1 stand-up bar, 27 seats at the bar, 2 a.m. close time across the board, and background live music and DJ, no outside space, no open doors or windows. And that's pretty much it for now.
Okay, so for the committee, the prior operator here had a 2 a.m. license. The only difference I could see was that they only had background music. So can you tell us a little about what you have in mind for live music?
Yeah, live music, is sort of on occasion thing. Alex, I don't know if you have more insight into that you can share.
Like Alex is connecting to audio.
Okay.
And it's not very good.
Well, for the committee, do we have any, sometimes we ask for limitations about live music. Do we have any concerns about it here? Either time or?
I mean, it depends what the community says, like what happens.
Well,
We have people who are going to speak up.
I can't tell if there's residential around there. Do you know?
So, no, I don't think so, because Chelsea Market is across 15th Street, and then above is all, so it's the same building, ultimately is that Starbucks grocery, and whatever, it's really.
All right, looks like.
He's trying again. Oh, there we go.
And I did walk by today and noticed this.
All right, so we have Alex here. Alex, if you want to unmute. So we just had some questions about whether you knew what your plans were for the live music.
For the live music?
Yes.
So we'll
for the live music, we typically don't really have a live music component. We typically have a DJ on certain nights. Every now and then, if it makes sense, we might have a live music component, but at most of our locations, we've entirely phased that out.
Okay.
If we had a live music component, most likely you would have an instrumentalist who would be playing alongside the music that would be streaming or accompany the DJ, but it would be kind of like a violinist who'd be an instrumentalist who is kind of playing along with the music that's already playing, if that makes sense.
So Carl,
Or instrumentalist. Did you have questions?
no, yeah. Janine, do we have any hands raised online?
No, no hands.
My only perhaps stipulation, because of the DJ and how big the space is, I'd like maybe some stipulation around like there won't be ticketed events, that this stays a restaurant because it is such a large space. But otherwise.
Plus, we also limited the DJing and other events down at the Starbucks roaster, which is what is it called? Starbucks on the corner. We held back them from doing a lot of this stuff too. So
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know how many nights they plan to use the DJ that they use in the other location that's kind of similar to this, just to be consistent.
Let's do one at a time. Are you okay with the stipulation that there'll be no ticketed events here?
Yeah, there'll be no ticketed events.
Okay.
No, that's.
And by the way, I have Senior Director of Operations, Keith Roche here. I was trying to figure out how to get some of our IT working, but I don't think I was able to figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah, Keith Roche is here. He oversees STK on the Atlantic.
Okay. So
Just as far as
thank you all. Thank you all for joining us. So I guess the question was raised whether we can put some parameters on the DJs and the live music. Whether it's, certain limited to certain nights of the week or certain, ending at a certain hour or anything like that. Have you given that any thought?
So we do, in our new restaurant specifically, we do operate with them 7 days a week. And we do want the ability to be able to choose that. And it's based off business levels. If Mondays and Tuesdays thin out a little bit and we decide to change that in 6 months, that would be something that we would want to make as a business decision. We do monitor sound levels. I want to make that, just share that with everyone. We have dB readers on all our phones, every operator in the restaurants. And we curate it and we build it up slightly, but we really don't like it past a certain level. It is a dining experience. So just to let everyone know, we do monitor that across the board. That's for every STK. We do not have ticketed events. That is not something that we do. We used to do it years ago. I don't know if, if something presented itself and it made sense for the business and obviously was aligned with our operations and our brand, I wouldn't want to limit it and say, hey, we can't visit it. But we would still have all parameters around it. We control music, we control DB to make sure levels are appropriate, and we would still operate it as we would on any other STK day. So I wouldn't want to say I would wipe it away completely, but I guess we could have a conversation about it. But
yeah, and just to kind of piggyback on that, we've got our flagship at the Grace Building, STK Midtown. We've also have our existing STK in the Meatpacking District as well. And, we haven't had any complaints from any of the communities. We've been running a tight ship.
The Meatpacking have a club element to it on the second floor? No?
No, there's a basement space that we no longer operate. We haven't operated it in years. The second floor is 4 private dining rooms. Smaller
And just out
occupancy.
of curiosity, what is the decibel level that you guys consider, okay to be doing in the restaurant as managers? What do you guys enforce for the decibel reading?
So, 85 is like the loudest it would get, and that's also including the noise of the restaurant.
Once it gets over that, it's just not very comfortable for us and our guests. So that's the highest we really like it to go. And generally in the earlier parts of the day, you could see it in about 70 and then, 75 and 80, and then really based off the energy in the restaurant, maybe a little bit more, but nothing higher than 85. It's nowhere near a nightclub. It's just to add a little energy into the restaurant.
And to just add to that, we don't have any operable windows on the exterior. So this is all self-contained inside of the restaurant. All you can hear from outside the restaurant is the hustle and bustle of the streets of New York. You can't hear what's going on inside the restaurant.
What's happening? Let's just finish with Ted.
I mean, that satisfies my questions about the sound. My only concern is that if they did do a ticket event, lines outside, are they gonna really bother the neighborhood or community? But it also doesn't look that residential, so.
It's not. But I was going to say, I think we discussed having no ticketed events.
Right, yeah,
Is
no,
that-
we need to clarify that.
Is that for you open? Because no ticketed event is important for me.
Okay,
And
so,
so, I mean.
I thought we had, but I think,
Yeah, I thought we heard no ticketed event, and then we heard ticketed event.
well, they want to keep the option open.
Right.
So I think we do need to clarify that. So what do you?
Perhaps. Sorry, I was just gonna suggest, perhaps as an option, maybe no ticketed events unless we have express written approval from the community board. And, we would have to go through some kind of application process with you guys to show you guys that we've got reasonable plans in place to control traffic flow and all that.
Okay, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
you'd have to give us, a little advance notice. It's not something
Yeah,
we can do.
yeah. I don't know if 30 days is sufficient, but we would love to do 30 days if that's possible.
Yeah, that usually works, yeah. I mean, so it depends when our meetings are and things, but that typically works. Okay, so we'll say there'll be no ticketed events unless applicant. What?
I mean,
That is in charge.
No, I was gonna say, maybe if we could just make it simpler for us and them and just say like one ticket event per month and if they wanna do
It's
that.
very hard to control.
Yeah.
I think what they have proposed,
Yeah, okay, so let's say there'll be no ticketed events, unless there's, applicant obtains prior approval from MCB4, okay? All right, and then Ted, thinking about live music and DJ, do you have any suggestions? Do you okay with?
No, I mean, the decibel level that they give is adequate and the neighborhood being the way it is, I don't think it's gonna bother anybody.
Okay, all right, so we'll just have that one stip that I just read about, the ticketed events.
Okay.
Community.
We asked, Janine, do we have anybody who's raised their hand since I last asked?
No, still no hands.
Correct.
Motion to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. That passes, thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Appreciate your
everyone.
time. Looking forward to everyone there.
All right.
Good to see you guys again.
Good
Take
seeing you,
care.
Matthew.
Cheers.
Bye.
All right, moving on to our DOT section, our dining out sidewalk and roadway applications. Number 13, 222 9th Avenue, the Canuck Sidewalk Cafe. Embarrassment. Apologies, the Canuck.
Hello.
Sec-
The Canuck.
Canuck. Oh, sure.
Rhymes with hockey puck.
That is recorded, let the record reflect. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. So yes, I'm applying for a sidewalk cafe for the Canuck. The Canuck's been in operation since December 2021. And we had a sidewalk cafe license through the temporary outdoor dining program. So now I am applying for the, I guess, official sidewalk cafe platform. The outdoor space has 3 tables and 12 seats.
Okay. So Alan and Ingo went to visit this. Alan, it sounded, maybe you can explain it. It sounded to me like the plan looked okay, but there was some question whether they can actually comply with the plan.
I think back in the day, they didn't have the stipulations of 10 feet on this. Right. So what happens, I think, a lot of these tables get pushed out So you wind up with 8 feet, maybe less than that. Garbage on the curb that gets put out sometimes makes it even more difficult. From passing by, there is several occasions where the clientele spills out onto the sidewalk when they have big games coming. So it gets very busy there. I'm sure you realize that. So we did meet somebody in the neighborhood who lived next door, and she was aware of it, but she said, listen, you know, they're good neighbors. They do their best, and on occasion, especially when you have playoff games and that sort of thing, gets a little noisier, a little bit busier, but in general, they're good neighbors.
So what's the clear path have to be? 8 feet? 10, because according to the thing Inga marked up, she seemed to say it was only 8 feet from the proposed cafe to the I guess there's a bike rack there.
Yeah, I think the bike rack and the, well, the sign has always been there, but the bike rack is something new. They've been putting bike racks all up and down 10th Avenue, which is really
This
coming
is
into
not,
competition
This is not.
with the seating that's already been approved.
But there is only 8 feet to the bike rack. You know, the bike rack, the problem is that it's slightly not across directly. So we have that problem.
Yeah, right.
Let me ask a question. You are showing your drawing on the south side, right? As the banister from the cafe is not close to the table. Can you move that banister closer to your table?
Yes, yeah, that one banister can, it's like per the diagram, it's moved in. The south banister is moved in 2 feet more than the north banister.
Well,
So
I'm suggesting that you move it 2 more feet. Because
right now we have 10 feet between that banister and there's a stop sign pole and then that stop sign pole is 2 feet from the curb.
But you
Total
don't
12.
have 10 feet from the bike rack.
Not the bike rack is actually not actually in front of the sidewalk cafe as you see it
I
south of it.
understand, but that creates a bottleneck that you could resolve easily by moving that banister a little further.
Yeah, moving it. Do you mean the banister closer to the building or the banister more north?
No, I mean the banister which is on the west and south side of your vestibule.
Right.
So you have the table, and there is space between the table and the banister.
Copy.
And I'm
Yeah.
suggesting that you move it up, so it would be a little more comfortable.
Understood. Yes. No, I understand what you're saying. Yes. Move it more north. Got it. The 8 feet by 8 inch banister, that banister there.
Right.
Yeah.
So Christine Inga also flagged, I don't know if you saw the photos, the storm enclosure.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You have a storm enclosure vestibule, and it's way beyond the legal measurements.
What's beyond the legal measurements?
Where it says on the plan vestibule,
Yep.
that vestibule is supposed to be a maximum of 18 inches from the wall, from the door. Per law,
Okay.
the law. So if you could either remove the vestibule or reduce the vestibule to 18 inches, that would be great.
I'll have to look into that. I mean, our understanding is that vestibule fits permit, so I'll have to look into that. I mean, that's a big undertaking to move that. And I don't see how that impedes the walking.
After 15 years of doing this, we can tell you that the law says it should be a maximum of 18 inches.
So less than a foot?
18, a foot and a half.
18, 1 foot and a half.
That's
So a
illegal.
vestibule that's less than 2 feet?
Yes.
Okay, I'll have to get back on that.
Well, we're going to need a stipulation, you're going to remove it or make it 18 inches.
Okay.
So how are we?
That's it.
So do you want to, will you agree to that tonight? Do you?
I have to learn more. I mean, because that costs a lot of money for me, and I've just seen a lot of vestibules that are much bigger than
But
a
we are
foot
telling
and a
that,
half.
we are telling that to every restaurant. And then we get the city to enforce it, so you can, you know,
And I guess what is the purpose of having an 18-inch vestibule?
it's kind of buffers the cold.
But no, why is it only 18 inches? Because as you've seen, they can take up half the sidewalk.
Right. So right now, from the end of my vestibule, there's at least 12 feet to the sidewalk.
That's not the measurement, that's not the law. So we can take that discussion offline, so we don't waste everybody's
Well, what do
time.
you do for purposes of
But,
tonight?
but the reality is that if you have this storm enclosure and somebody reports it, you're going to be ticketed for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn more on this.
Can you agree to just comply with the law?
Yeah.
I will
Instead
look
of-
into the law and comply with the law, yes. I mean, I don't know, I have to look into it.
But you said comply with the law, right?
What's that? Yes,
We
if this
can-
is the law, and I guess if I'm confused at why the community board would be concerned about the vestibule, but I will comply with whatever the law says.
Okay.
You haven't walked down 9th Avenue in Hell's Kitchen if you don't know why we're concerned.
Yeah, and this one says within the perimeter of the sidewalk cafe, so the reality is that it would not create any impediment more than what's already there, whether in the current size or not, but understand the law is the law, but.
Unless there's winter and there's no.
What you don't want, and that's what we had before, is like precedent setting. So there is one, and then everybody does one, whether they are inside a cafe or not. And so, and you know, and then it takes space away from the pedestrians.
It's not even up to us, it's the law.
Right.
So we can't, right, we can't excuse what's
Yes.
not allowed.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Okay, so comply with the
we'll
law.
put in a stipulation that says applicant will comply with all applicable laws regarding size of storm enclosure vessel.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, so then we have,
And applicant will reduce the 8 inches barricade by 2 feet. The one which is on the south side.
south side is on the right.
Yes.
Are you okay with that, sir?
I'm confused by what that means. It's already within the parameter that there's already 10 feet between the pole and the sidewalk cafe, so I don't know why it needs to be reduced another 2 feet.
Because it's not 10 feet from the bike corral.
So it needs to be moved more, it needs to be moved up north, not reduced.
No, more to the east. Needs to be shortened to the east.
Yes, okay.
Which wall are you trying to move? This one? or
Yes, that one.
The east wall?
Right.
You just want it pushed in
A
more?
little, no, shorter.
Oh, so you want everything pushed closer to the building?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's okay with me.
Okay, so how much do you want to do it?
2 feet.
So that's the south side?
I'll do it to whatever the parameters are legal.
South side, right.
Well, how about if we just say, sidewalk cafe there will be 10 feet between bike corral
Oh,
and
yeah,
sidewalk
that's
cafe. Okay, is that all right?
That's fair. That's
Okay.
accurate.
And then the last thing here was the doors and windows and ball games and people watching from the sidewalk.
Yep.
So what's,
Well, they need to close the doors.
The French doors and the doors are closed at 10 p.m.
No, but during the day, they need to be closed whenever there is amplified sound, including football games or baseball games or any games.
So that's every day, all the time?
Yeah, that's
Right.
also the law.
if you have TVs on that you can hear outside?
There's
yeah.
no TVs outside.
No, but can you hear it outside?
To a reasonable, it's not that loud, no.
If you can hear it on the street, you cannot hear anything on the street that's coming from inside. You have to close the doors and windows.
Sure.
New York City law.
Law, again, yeah.
Okay.
Well, do we want to change so on page 5 of the stipulation form you submitted, I wasn't sure, there was this question about when you close the doors and windows when there's amplified sound, and I wasn't sure what your answer meant. All windows, French doors, garage doors will be closed per the reported hours listed.
Closing hours listed.
Closing
But
it.
it's not
saying-
during the hours, it's
Right.
not per the hours. You know,
So will you agree to close them whenever you have amplified sound inside? And by the
Yes.
way, okay, great, because you did agree to that originally as well. So I'm gonna
Right.
change that answer on page 5, and then also on page 7, where you said not applicable, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna make those yes, and then we'll have 2 additional steps that you'll comply with, as I read, complied with all laws and regulations regarding the size of the storm enclosure, and that there will be 10 feet clearance between the bike rack and the sidewalk cafe.
Okay.
Okay,
alright, motion.
go away, did we ask for the community?
Janine, do we have any hands raised from the community?
But yeah, there's one. I'm gonna bring over Susan Kenny.
All right. Wait, I thought you wanted to talk about,
That's the one we talked about.
did you want to talk about citizens?
She wants citizens.
Oh.
Citizens.
Let's see.
There's something I wanted to ask you because I don't know if you're pertaining to certain restaurants or just all the restaurants, but there's a restaurant on 48th Street between 9th and 10th Avenue. It's like a bar. And when you go in there, they have the lights off. You're in total darkness drinking your liquor. Is that feasible, or is that something that's true?
I don't think that's for me.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, and Susan, that's not something that we would deal with here because it's not breaking any regulations, and that restaurant's not, that location's not on the agenda.
Okay, I'll talk about the citizen later. Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any other hands raised?
Yeah, Renee Keat.
Okay.
Plug my computer in.
Renee, go ahead and come off mute.
Oh, is this about citizens or that's not up yet?
No, citizens is 3 more away.
Okay, so then put me back as a panelist,
Yeah.
as an attendee.
Okay,
All right.
so just to be clear, for the DOT, we're just gonna recommend approval, right? We're not gonna adjust make adjustments. And then we have the additional steps for the liquor license, the 10 feet and the storm enclosure size. All right, so do we have a motion for both the DOT and the SLA?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much. And Dennis, if you have any questions about the storm enclosure, when you look into the law, just reach out to the community board office and, one of us will get in touch with you to talk about it. Because we're pretty certain about what the law is. Okay? No. There's there.
He was walking.
Okay. I guess he was signing off. Okay.
All right. Moving on to item number 14, 441 9th Avenue in Common Cafe, sidewalk application.
This is one I guess Christine looked at, but do we have the applicant here?
Yeah, they never responded and I don't think the applicant is on.
Okay.
Okay. If you're from this application, 441 9th Avenue, feel free to raise your hand. But in the meantime.
Christine, do they have a liquor license or is this just a sidewalk? No liquor license?
No, it's like a coffee shop.
Okay. So what do you want to do with
Well, they mark, they are, I met with the manager, he was very nice and very amenable to whatever changes are suggested. And one of them is that they mark C3 neighborhood corridor, and it should be C4, C2 regional corridor. So that's the first thing which is wrong on the application.
Wait, sorry, say that again,
In section 1 site plan, they mark C3 and it should be C2. It's original corridor.
okay, so it should be 10 feet, not 8 feet.
Yes.
Okay,
And you know, this is at the corner of 34th Street and 9th Avenue. So this is not a light corner, in a small, nice, village lane. So,
but are they allowing 10 feet?
yeah, if it's organized the way, the modified, yes, it is 10 feet. It's barely 10 feet.
So what do you wanna,
10 feet, it's fine.
okay,
But they need to organize the way it's presented, right? And then they have umbrellas which are going way over the sidewalk. They need to have, you know, smaller umbrella. I think in the 10 feet, we can say that's fine.
okay, so, but on the plan, they're allowing 10 feet.
They are allowing 9 point something. Because they
I
have,
can't quite read what measurements they have.
yeah, I don't think it's worth.
Okay, so we'll point out to DOT that it should be a regional car.
Right, and the umbrellas have to be changed.
Okay, because at the moment they're extending beyond the,
Yes,
okay.
if you look at the picture
Yeah.
below. You will see that.
So do you want me to just do this, do you want us to object, what do you want us to do, object? Or recommend approval with modifications?
Yes.
Okay,
Approval.
and do you want me to just do that on the form, or do you want to
Yeah.
talk to them again?
I tried to.
Okay, all right,
Didn't get, I went by and.
Okay.
That's it.
all right, so we'll do this approve with those 2 modifications,
Okay,
if that's the motion, then.
yeah. So motion.
Well, wait, let's,
Judy, do we have anybody with their hand raised online?
No, no hands.
Anything else from the committee? Otherwise, we'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. All right, then moving on to number 15,
Sorry,
416.
I apologize. My computer cut out. So I wasn't sure if I missed anything at the tail end of my
we're just saying, when you look into the law about the size of the storm enclosure. If you want to discuss it, or if you have a different conclusion than we do, please reach out to the board office and they'll put you in touch with one of us and we can talk to you about it and try to get on the same page. Because we're pretty confident in our reading of the rules, so if you read them a different way, it'd be useful to know, but let's try to work it out so it doesn't, so we're on the same page, okay?
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
All right, bye.
All right, item number 15, 416 West 46th Street.
Janine I sort of doubt anyone's gonna be here.
Yeah, no, I don't see them on.
Okay, so, I think this goes back even before my time, but Christine probably remembers, this was a terrible operator. In fact, they're the ones that have led us to have the applicants sign the additional steps, because they agreed to all this stuff at a meeting and then refused to abide by it, saying they never signed anything in writing. But they've been terrible. Now, I haven't heard about them lately, so we should be careful, but they have been historically pretty terrible. So if you look at the photos, this is this really weird part of 46th Street, Christine. Maybe you know why.
They have a neck down.
It's like a strange sidewalk
It's
extension
called a neck down.
only in front of their building.
No, they have one on each side and across.
Oh, okay.
Across.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't.
No,
What
that's
does it
why
do?
it's called a neck down, and it reduces the distance that the pedestrian has to cross.
Okay. All right, so if you see from the photos, they've completely taken that over with sidewalk cafes, which they can't do. However, what they submitted to the DOT does actually comply with all the dimensions. They claim they're only gonna have 3 tables. With 2 seats each, which does fit in, and they're not using the sidewalk extension. What's the name of that?
Neck down.
Neck down, okay. So, you know, and they have not submitted STIM form to extend their liquor license. They're obviously not being responsive. But in terms of the DOT, I'm not sure what we do because their plans.
I think we have to apply.
Yeah, we have to what?
To
approve.
To approve.
Yeah.
Would you approve of the stipulation though, that they?
No, but they are,
Those-
it's, the drawings are fine.
Yeah, we usually don't make people say, we don't say we don't trust you.
Even though the photos show that they're.
Well, no, that happens all
No,
the time,
because the
because they're,
photos is what's there before.
yeah,
Okay.
It's like a before.
you don't know when they,
I see.
but so all we can do is really look at this and give them the benefit of the doubt, so.
But then what happened with the SLA?
Well, I mean, I guess if they don't, well, I'd love to need to reach out to them again
I
and
think we
see.
should send a letter to the SLA saying
Well, technically, they only have to apply, in fact, they can only apply when they get DOT approval.
oh,
So we've been trying to do it at the same time to
Right.
save our time and their time. But I guess we just keep an eye on it and see if they don't apply, once they get approved.
you will,
Yeah.
they will probably go direct.
Yeah, all right, so this one,
Yeah.
Janine, anyone from the community?
No, there's no one there.
Okay, now we hit the eagerly awaited by.
Are we gonna vote on this?
Well, hold on, let's do the vote first.
Oh, yeah.
Entertain a motion. All those in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Perfect.
My God, it's so early.
You know, 7, that's good.
There we get a lot
Oh, yeah,
of, we got a lot of interest in the next one.
How come it's not on
It's
my
not-
agenda?
Yeah, it got dropped from the agenda.
It's not on the agenda.
Oh, no, we're gonna add it.
Ah,
This something came in
okay.
last week.
Later, right.
And Nelly, I believe, sent it around and it got added to the agendas in the Dropbox, but depending when you got the agenda. But given our delayed November meeting, we had to do it at this meeting.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
another one Alan and Inga did go to see.
So this is item 16, 401 West 25th Street.
The applicant there.
Hey guys, my name's Andrew. Thanks for having me.
Okay,
Can you tell us a little bit about your?
Absolutely. Yes, I'm the co-owner and co-founder of Citizens of Chelsea. We've been operating since 2016 with a liquor permit, and we were operating on a temporary sidewalk cafe permit through the COVID years, and we've since formalized it through DOT, and that's why I'm joining you guys this evening for your consideration on that.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
all right, so. So I guess one issue that came up on the site visit, and you probably heard about it, is this enormous structure you have in the photos.
Well, the photos actually used to be there. They got taken down. And I believe you put up like a vinyl envelope around it for a while. But you had like a plastic enclosure from one end to the other end, the tables throughout. For a while. But that's not there anymore, so that's
Okay.
safe.
The vestibule in question, we had removed. We got the notices from the DOT that exceeded what was permissible. So we just kept the canopy roofing of the structure, but had the whole sides and the enclosure taken down.
Okay,
So now the way the plan is indicated is fine.
okay, but I guess in the past you've used umbrellas so your umbrellas can only go above your sidewalk cafe. And there are certain minimum and maximum heights. And I guess we've had reports that they took up the whole sidewalk and are too low, that people basically have to duck their heads to get under your umbrellas.
Well, actually, on the way up, the umbrellas are gone.
The umbrellas are gone?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
but
I believe it was Alan and somebody else from
Alan's
CB4.
right here, Alan and Inga, yeah.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of speaking on the phone
Yes,
to them. And they let me know that the heights were incorrect, and that the current table layout was not going to be permissible, which they clearly explained, which made sense to me. And we'll get them closed out.
Okay. I had a couple of questions about your stipulation form,
Yes.
that you also submitted today, I think. So you didn't circle, this is inside, so you're not gonna have any music outside, correct?
No, no, we
Okay,
will
so
not.
inside, you didn't circle any kind of music. Do you have background music inside?
We
or-
do, we do. We have just regular speakers to play ambient music. That's right.
Okay, and then if I'm reading what your hours say 7 to 4, is that 7
Correct.
AM to 4 AM or?
Correct. Sorry, I should have stipulated that more clearly. We're a breakfast and brunch cafe, so 7 a.m. till 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then weekends just 1 hour later until 5 p.m.
Oh, okay, so you're not open at night?
No.
Okay, all right, just wanted to make sure because.
Yeah, no, that was my
Or
error.
it didn't have a PM or an AM app.
5 a.m. would be late finish.
Okay, so Alan, do we want to stip about the umbrellas or do you?
Oh, they're gone now. You can put it in if you want.
Okay. Can we put in a stip that, the umbrellas will comply with the regulations, which say they can only extend, they can't go further than the sidewalk cafe and they have to be no lower than, what is it, 8 feet? And no higher than 10 feet, I think. Are you okay with agreeing to that?
Yes, that's no problems.
Right?
They have marked that in all the steps and the DOT steps.
Oh, they have?
Yeah. It says minimum 7 feet, removable, does not extend beyond perimeter, the umbrella has a weighted base, any support structure, blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
So it's already
yeah, so.
in there for.
Yeah, so what's being pointed out, Andrew, is that if you look on the DOT form, you filled out, you actually agreed to all of that stuff with the DOT. So we don't
Absolutely.
need, you don't need to repeat it, right? Okay. But I know we have community people there.
Yeah.
Good questions from the committee before we head to the community? All right. Janine, do we have some hands raised in the community?
Yeah, there's Renee, Nilda, and I'm assuming Susan.
Okay, thank you. All right, Renee, can you go ahead and go off mute?
Okay, so, so the committee's on. Hello, my name is Renee Kidd. I'm sitting here with the board of the Elliott Chelsea Houses. Citizens of Chelsea is on our block. There seems to be a lack of acknowledgement that we live here. Basically, it is almost impossible for our residents to get off of this block. We have to admit, we are a naturally occurring retirement community. We have a lot of seniors, a lot of children. It is extraordinarily difficult to walk past when they have the sidewalk cafe up. It is also very dangerous, especially with that grate, especially in raining weather. It should not be allowed, that cafe, so sidewalk at all, should not be allowed. There has been no notices up at all saying that this was going to happen. I received an email this morning, and that's how I know. I was able to text some residents to let them know. But frankly, the total lack of consideration of this development when this cafe is at full throttle does not work. We have people standing all over the street and we're constantly having to say, excuse me, excuse me. There's no line to keep them in place so that we can actually walk undisturbed. We have residents who literally, and these are older residents, who are walking in the street and crossing the street so they can actually get around. This shouldn't be going on. This should not be happening. This should not be allowed. Point blank, that sidewalk should not be allowed at all. Because we have to admit, somebody lives here. We have lived here since 1947, and that has totally been a lack of acknowledgement. It cannot continue like this. We need to have our residents being able to walk up and down the street, being able to cross the street. They should not have to cross in the middle of a block because they cannot get through.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Renee.
So why do we hear from everybody?
Yeah, let's hear from everybody.
Yes.
Janine, who's our next person?
Nilda?
Hello. Hi, I'm also a resident of the Elliott Chelsea houses, and I live on 25th Street, and the Citizens Cafe should not be allowed to be there at all as well. There's no space. They're causing a considerable amount of congestion on the street. The elderly and disabled people with walkers and wheelchairs are not able to walk safely down the street. There's a fence in front of the Citizens Cafe that creates a dangerous walking condition that when you put, especially when the tables and chairs are put out. They're also putting out garbage cans that take up space on the street while the tables and chairs are going out. So I don't understand how people are supposed to be able to make it down that street with garbage cans that they're putting out and the tables and chairs. And the umbrellas are just ridiculous. Like people are walking into these umbrellas while they're walking down the street. So no, I don't believe that this sidewalk cafe should really be allowed on the street. It's dangerous.
Okay, thank you.
Who's our next person?
I'm Susan. I'm Susan that's trying to say something because I was trying to say that too. It's not good. And it's really, like Renee said, it's really annoying. You can't pass through. When you pass through and ask them to move, and I'm in a wheelchair, they actually get mad and they won't let me pass. They won't let me pass and everything else put together. So I live at 420 West 26 around the corner from you guys. And it's very unbecoming that you have a cafe out in the street and you have everything and the grates are there and everything else. I know you lessen some of it, but it shouldn't be there. It should not be there. And that's all I have to say. I go with Renee. Renee is right what she's saying. And Renee is my TA president that's taking care of the community.
Okay, thank you.
And my name is Miss Kenny, if you don't remember me. I'm Susan Kenny.
We see your name on the screen, so thank you.
Okay.
They need some sidewalk management, basically. See, when they had the whole, enclosure, that created a problem.
Okay.
They can move people now up against.
Well, all they're asking for, right, is 3 tables, 2 seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it seems they have a queue. I mean, which is surprising. I mean, it's just a coffee shop, right?
It's busy.
Right.
It's busy.
So.
Well, let's talk about the sidewalk cafe first and then the queue.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I
So-
think there are a couple other people with their hands raised, just letting you know.
Sorry, raise your hand. Louis is coming over next.
Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes. Feel free
Yes,
to-
my name is Louis Bertot. I've been a resident of Chelsea for over 50 years. That sidewalk poses a safety issue. Why? Because you can't get around the individuals that stand in front of the chairs and the tables that are not there right now. Give me 1 second. The noise is drowning me out. Right now, I went out there to measure the distance between the cafe, and I'm sure the owner must have seen if he was in there, to the garbage that he's parked in the street. Right now, that's 128 inches. So you put a couple of tables in there, standing people. Where do you go around? I mean, how do you get around this restaurant? I mean, I'm going to tell you, I have no problem with their food. I've been there many times. I love it. But and this is not a plug, but by the same token, we have to live in all together in the same community. We have to respect each other's spaces, and this space is not being respected. Right now, it's completely clear. It looks like daylight out there right now. I wish I could send you the pictures. I do have the pictures to send you, but I wouldn't even know how to start doing that. I just took some pictures out there. 128 inches to the curb with the garbage in front of it. So the garbage is 128 inches from the side of that cafe. That's with nobody there. Now add the tables, add the chairs, add the standing traffic. We have a mess. And not only that, I understand that they're looking to put those chairs. They're not talking about around the corner. I hope they're not talking about around the corner from their store, because their store extends around the corner. Their windows do. I hope they're not trying to use that space as well, because that's as well as congested. Notable things in that area right now in that corner, you have street cleaning, only 1 hour, half hour. All right, so that means that open for parking all day long. So that's more congestion. You also have a hydrant that's also 128 inches from the curb. That's right next to the garbage where he's got the park right now. You have poles and what have you in the way of people being able to get around. So it brings it down to maybe 4 feet at best when it's in good times. So I really urge to rethink and revisit this in some other form or fashion. I see there's plenty of seats inside for people to sit. I don't want to restrict nobody's business, but by the same token, we have to have a free hand as far as the residents here to be able to walk back and forth. It's not only that, you got during school hours, you know the mess. I mean, the mothers of taking these children in carriages and what have you, trying to go around that corner as well. And that block is open to 2 huge buildings of 102 families each, not counting the one they have themselves, which is 15 stories, and then go down. You got the Elliott houses further down the street. So you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of families that are just on that one side, not unlike the other side of the street, which is tenement buildings. Aside from that, you also have a bike stand right across the street from Citizen. Right across the street on 21st Street, you have bike stand. It has about 20 bikes in there. So it's overly congested. Unlike the bakery that's on 9th Avenue right across the street, they got plenty of space there. For some reason, they have more sidewalk space than they do. You got to be realistic. You don't have the sidewalk space. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Janine, do we have any other hands raised?
Yeah, Omega Linton, I'm bringing over.
Hi.
Hi, please go ahead.
Hi, so my name is Omega Linton. I'm on the board of the Tennis Association at the Elliott Chelsea development. So I'd just like to not beat, I'm sorry, just give us one moment. I don't want to beat a dead horse, right? And I apologize for being so repetitive, but I just want to really reiterate the fact that there are a few issues. Majorly, not only is it wheelchairs that are issued across by, but then let's just think really plainly, there's strollers that need to get by, persons with shopping carts for shopping, things of that nature. There's so many reasons why a sidewalk is there. People need to be able to get from one place to another, right? And safely. But right now, unfortunately, with the impeding of the things on the sidewalk during certain times of day, it leads that you have to walk in the street. And then, as you know, we have the bike lane that's on that corner on the opposite side of the street and things of that nature. That makes it very dangerous with traffic and things of that nature involved. So if you really think about it as a safety issue, it's one that needs to be looked at very seriously because our sidewalk is not constructural for that kind of seating arrangement. We do have some sidewalks in the neighborhood that are more wide and they do a lot for that kind of spacing. But in this particular case, I have to just agree with the fact that it's not safe. It's such an inconvenience for the tenants involved and not just the Elliott Chelsea residents, but just those in the area in itself who need to get by. So it's something that we should all consider, okay? Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Janine, do you have anyone else?
No more hands.
Okay, great.
It seems like they didn't get a chance to see the renewed drawing. That's what I'm gonna assume based on their comments about the fire hydrants. So I think a lot of their concerns are gonna be alleviated by actually what they're going to have and not what they had in the past. And, you know, obviously DOT knows what they're doing to give the right
But
measurement, so.
I think one thing clearly is that if they put the garbage container just across that's the problem. So we should recommend that they put their garbage container on the avenue, right?
Well, that's the applicant's still there, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then.
Andrew, can we?
Hey guys, I'm still with you. Yep.
Okay, so I think you heard all of that.
I did. Yeah, they were really valid and fair concerns.
Okay, so are you saying, so with the obstructions, is
So-
what everyone's concerned about the way it's been operating in the past, is that
Yeah.
what's?
Yeah, so what they need to do is have a line that goes around the corner and goes up against the wall where there aren't any tables. So they need.
So then the line should go to the right of the entrance.
So I mean, do you have a staff that can manage that line, that is out there? When there is a line, can you manage it?
We have hosts, particularly on the weekend hours when we're busy enough that it's going to get onto a wait list. We don't employ security of nature. I mean, we're a breakfast sort of cafe. So we can be a big part of the solution in getting our hosts to help manage how the people are lining up and how the workflow of people is moving. And I'd be more than happy to hear any other suggestions that you guys have that you think might help solve the problem.
Well, I think, I mean, my sense, and this is just my opinion, I mean, it would seem like, it sounds like you take a wait list, right? You don't ask everyone to wait, or do you?
So we go onto a wait list when the restaurant is full. People can make a small amount of reservations with us, and by using Yelp, they can put themselves down remotely onto our wait list. So that's the general flow of how diners would get into our restaurant.
My suggestion, we'll see what other people say, is you should try to, and then when you call the wait list, do you text people or do you expect them to be up?
No, we text them. So and honestly, it's not a nice experience for them to all wait out front anyway. We tell them, go check the Highline out, go have a walk, we'll text you. And we text them when it says your table's 5 minutes away, make your way back to the store. So yeah.
So I think you should really encourage everyone waiting to move, to move on. And then if people are gonna wait, you should ask them to wait, on the nearer the 9th Avenue side where you don't have sidewalk tables, and to line up
around the corner. Yeah.
So in other words, keep the sidewalk clear.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
You're only gonna have the sidewalk cafe to the left of your entrance, right? The
Yeah,
3
that's right.
tables. Okay, so then the line, you should try not to have a line at all, but if you have to, it should be on the right of the entrance heading towards 9th Avenue. The waiting line.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes
All
sense.
right. And then you heard about, how about garbage? What can we do about garbage placement?
Yeah, we can obviously do our part in cooperating. I think if it's a better solution, we might be able to move to 9th Avenue instead of putting it on 25th. Our neighbors there, June Ramen, the ramen restaurant, they put their trash out on that side. And it gets like a little less crowded there. So, I mean, if obviously we'd need our trash company to agree to do it, but I don't see why they couldn't, to the extent that's helpful. Maybe that would be a good solution.
I think so too.
Okay. But then, the message is, that the sidewalk cafe is a big obstruction. So you've really got to confine it to exactly what's allowed here under the law, which is the 3 feet you're proposing.
And the umbrella.
And the umbrellas, I'm not sure you can even get umbrellas that small. But the umbrellas can't extend further than the 3 feet on your plan.
Yeah, that I haven't looked into what umbrellas could potentially work and be compliant. Obviously, I heard from you guys saying that it's really not going to work out. So I think the better option is just to remove them.
Yeah, and again, it's not our rules. It's in fact
No.
the stuff you agreed to on the
It's what's been
form itself.
approved.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
which is, and you heard here, it's not an idle concern. I mean, they really, as you heard from 5 people here, they get in people's way.
Yeah.
So can we put those 2 things, the recommendation as stipulation that they will operational stipulation?
Yeah, okay, I'm just writing it down. But what do we think about the basic, what's proposed here? Do we want to oppose it, or?
We can't.
Well, we could. I don't think we're gonna
Yeah.
get anywhere.
I'm not, I don't think we're going to get anywhere.
Whether it's of any importance or not, the DOT was obviously really aware of the physical obstructions, the fire hydrants, the Siamese on the outside of the building, the grates, the garden bed around the outside. So they were guiding us and helping us to suggest what would be a compliant way to structure the sidewalk. And obviously, the most important part is the clearances here, right? And I think that's at the end of the day why the DOT approved it, is because we got it to a position where it was going to allow adequate clearance. And I know that the lines make it difficult on top of that, and the trash can make it difficult on top of that. My hope is, with all of those things considered together, we can create a sidewalk clearance which is much, much more reasonable for everybody, so.
All right, so you're committed to what you proposed to the DOT, just the 3 tables, 6 seats. Okay.
That's right. Yep. They'll fine us until the end of the day if we don't fix that anyway.
And Carrie, so you had your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I mean, because so many community members came out, and we know, Andrew, you should know if you don't already, that they're going to be very active and, making sure that you do what you say. What are, that we can't, as a committee, if the DOT has already approved, the plan, and it's all according to the correct measurements by law, there's not a whole lot we can do except pay attention to any kind of deviation from the plan. So I don't know if Frank or Wendy, you want to just sort of say like what we can do as a committee, because I don't want people to walk away feeling like we're not listening.
It sounds like some of the neighbors had already called DOT on him and he corrected them, so I have faith that this operator is gonna make the changes that he needs to make.
In addition, as a stiff, we should have Renee and the operator talk to each other. So there is a direct channel of communication, and there is no, so we should share their phones or emails. Cause Renee is the head of the tenant association,
Okay.
then she can, spread it around.
Yeah, we should also send the plan, cause I don't think they saw the plan, I think that would alleviate
Right.
a lot of their concern.
Okay. So Renee, could you send your contact information to the community board office? And we will, if it's okay with you, we will pass it on to the operator here, and you folks can get in contact to talk about any problems. But just so everyone understands, what is allowed under the rules are 3 tables to the left of the entrance with 2 seats each flush against the wall. So it shouldn't be extending more than 3 feet from the building facade, and there shouldn't be more than 3 tables with 2 seats each. And that's permitted under the very detailed rules that the Department of Transportation has about the size of sidewalk cafes. But they have to be limited to that. The umbrellas have to be a certain height and cannot go further than immediately above the tables. And they've agreed to keep the waiting, do everything they can to keep the waiting patrons off the sidewalk, to contact them electronically. If there's gonna be a line, it'll go towards 9th Avenue.
And the garbage would be on.
And they're gonna, if it's allowed, they'll put their garbage on 9th Avenue.
Okay.
All right, so let me,
Excuse me, can I say one more thing? This is Miss Kenny. I'm gonna keep an eye on that and let Jeffrey Bodine's office know what's going on, the same as Renee, because I don't like that. But the people that come there, they act very nasty. I told them to move, and they looked at me like I was crazy. They looked at me like, I know it's a busy establishment, because around the corner, one of the fish restaurants closed up because they wasn't great. But I'm just saying, the citizens thing should be more lenient to the people that are walking past there and not have any problems like that. And that's been like that for a while. I'm glad we're listening to this. I'm glad I'm listening to this tonight, because it helps the community to strive and to live. Thank you so much.
okay, so Susan and Renee and anybody, if problems continue after tonight, please do email the community board office, and we will help work with you.
But the other thing we can ask them to do is to put a little panel to say, please, keep the path free for the neighbors. So that there is a statement of intent right there
Okay.
on the sidewalk.
All right. Okay, so is he still here? Yeah. So Andrew,
Yeah, I'm here.
the additional steps we'd like to have are the following. We'll make sure you're okay with this. Applicant will discourage patrons from waiting on sidewalk and will contact waiting patrons by text. Any waiting line will form against the facade of the restaurant on right side of entrance toward 9th Avenue. Applicant will place garbage on 9th Avenue rather than 25th Street to the extent permissible. An applicant will display a sign asking patrons to keep the sidewalk clear.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Okay.
All right. Is that a motion?
Motion.
Yes, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, before we move on to the two other businesses, I just wanted to, we have a community member here who's been sitting quietly. Just wanted to know if you had any questions about what we're doing or.
So Renee, informed me about this meeting and I had some time. I thought it was interesting.
I know you're more than welcome to. I know you're more than welcome to come.
So she mentioned about the citizen, situation. I wasn't aware.
Okay.
Of the concern from the community, so I came to see what it was about.
Okay.
I do live right here in the LA, development on 26th Street, 157th Street, and I do my laundry. So I have to go through the 9th Avenue walkway.
Yeah.
And everything that they mentioned is accurate.
Right.
It is an obstruction.
Yeah.
People do have to walk in the street when they go on.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify that, the resubmission of the diagram that they're putting, how does the community get access to that? Because I don't know if the original drawing or submission said that they could only have 3 chairs, on 3 tables before, because they had seating all the way around.
Yeah.
And that is ridiculous.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, so, what happens is the Friday before our meeting, all of these applications are put up on the community board website. So 5 days ago, if you go to the CB4 website, there's a calendar. If you go to the meeting you're interested in, there'll be a button, a link to click for the meeting materials. And for example, for this one, what you would have seen would be this application the DOT sends to us. So what happens is the Department of Transportation looks at it and talks to them about whether this is allowed under the rules. So this is all they're applying for now, these 3 tables here, and everything else is gonna be clear.
With limited umbrellas.
Yeah, the umbrellas, the umbrellas can only be above here, and
Yeah.
have to be at least 7 feet high.
It's really not.
Yeah, so
Like I said, with the.
they may not, as you said, they may not be able to have umbrellas.
Yeah, and I don't think this was mentioned, but they have like that awning thing. It's high enough, but visually it's not appealing to like that area. But that's neither here nor there, and that's something that I noticed.
But they're not supposed to have a roof to the cafe, right?
Right.
I don't think that's this though, is it?
That's the building department then.
You have an overhang.
No, this was the structure that we had built over.
No, he said the structure.
No,
That's gone.
There's an overhang.
Yeah, this is, but
Of
it's
the
part of the
building
cafe.
or
Oh,
something
it's
they
part of the
built?
building.
He was the part
I don't know. It's gotta be part of the cafe. Building didn't build it.
Andrew, are you still there?
I'm still here. Yeah.
There is a question about what you have in front of the cafe, and over the cafe, it looks like you have a little roof
An
structure.
awning. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But the awning is part of the cafe furniture. It's not part of the building, right?
It's part of the building.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's a permanent fixture, just like a regular window awning. It helps prevent the inside from getting too hot because it blocks some sun out from coming through those windows that wrap around the building.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Of course.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you. I hope we didn't bore you too much, but thank you. Thanks for coming and I know, and people are welcome to come in person. Yes, we try to do most of it on Zoom because we have limited space here. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Thanks for your time, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
So, next item, which I'll have Christine address since she suggested it, was the community board budgeting requests.
So, you know, every, committee is doing the budget request. And this year we have learned that each budget request is going to be by agency and not mixed together. And as I was doing that for transportation, I was wondering whether we want to put an entry in that budget to ask for more personnel at DOT to review those application and do the enforcement based, I mean, you know, because we are going to get into the enforcement mode and now it's going to take 6 months to get somebody out. And then after 6 months, people are going to say, no, everything is fine, and it's going to be infuriating. So that was my suggestion, is to put an entry in the budget and say, we want more and better educated people for this activity.
And the narrative.
Huh?
The narrative.
What do you mean the narrative?
So the description, each committee has a description.
Yeah.
Right. So you
Right.
enhance that also.
Right.
But when we submit it, it doesn't come from our committees, it comes from the full board, so it doesn't matter whether it's.
Yeah, it's just that since I am doing the
Yeah.
DOT stuff, I was thinking about.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and can we leave it to you transportation to put it in terms of your priorities where you
Yeah,
want
I'll
it?
send you, we did a survey on transportation about the priority of everybody,
Okay.
so now we're going to review that tomorrow. And I'll raise that issue tomorrow saying, you know, where should it be?
Okay,
And get people, you know, comfortable with that.
great. Okay, just a
Okay.
second. So Janine, is there anyone from the community left who might wants to speak on this budgeting issue?
No, I'm not seeing any hands.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Any further discussion?
So.
So you'll write up a little, whatever you need to write up. Okay, great.
I would like to see them put more money also in the Department of Buildings, because it's a nightmare. As business owners, what's happening is we're getting fined for things that need to be changed, and we're waiting 9 months to get an answer, and we're getting hit with a second fine without being able to correct it because we're waiting on DOB to come
So
back
you
with an answer.
you should send an email to, you know, the CNU, the
The two land use
the two
committees.
land use committee and the housing committee, because they are the one doing that section.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Yeah.
but so, yeah.
You should, they probably, I'm sure that's not something they're thinking about. So,
Yeah, but they may, you know, that's good to emphasize.
Yeah,
Right,
okay.
okay. And
Do we need to vote on this or? I don't think so.
No.
Okay,
No, but they need to do a letter first, put in the budget, it should have been come to a committee first.
Oh, okay, so we need to have a letter that we put.
So you do it in the narrative.
No, but we can put in a letter that we will present at the full board. Very short letter.
wait, no, I thought people were just submitting it.
No, we only put in the budget things which have had a letter and we are approved by the full board,
The budget request.
right?
So we would need to have had a letter.
Yeah, so we can vote on it, I can write a letter.
So a letter to DOT.
Right.
Okay, got it, okay.
I mean, since we're here, maybe we should ask for the same thing for the SLA.
No, this is city, this is the city.
Oh, really?
This is
Yeah,
only the
that's why we've
budget.
never,
Right,
this comes up every once in a while,
Yeah.
whether we can ask the, but this is
Okay.
only the city budget.
so let's have a motion,
For a letter to
yes, for
DOT.
the letter to DOT,
Requesting this.
right,
All in favor?
okay,
Aye.
alright, so I'll do that,
Mike, you in favor?
okay, and then we want to talk about the.
And yeah, the next final item is the open the outdoor dining proposed bill amending the law.
What was the changes?
So I'm telling you that right now. Essentially, the change, it was submitted by Lincoln Wester about 3 days ago. And essentially, the change is to make the roadway dining 12 months a year instead of 9. That's the big, most important change. The second change is to make to allow food retail to be able to do the same thing. To use the roadway dining space, or to put stuff in front of their.
What is this like grocery stores? What's food retail? It's a grocery store. So they put out like display counters.
I guess that's what it is. And the second one, the second one, the third one is for if a I'm sorry, if a restaurant has less than 20 feet or less than 20 feet of frontage, they would be able to expand next to, in front of the other property, provided there is the property owner approval.
And some DOT or someone has to approve it as well.
Yeah. So
but can that extend, the one thing I wondered about that, can that extend indefinitely, or there didn't seem to be a limit on how far they could go? In other words, if you're smaller than 20 feet, it doesn't say you can go another 10 feet.
Of the abutting property singular.
Okay, so it's only one on each side, the
and
maximum would be.
the hospital and you have the whole thing.
So it depends on the width of the next joining.
Yeah.
Next person, right?
Okay.
So this is the second one. I think all that stuff is pretty good up to now. And then you know that they have to leave 20 feet from the corner when they are at the exit of the street, right? To preserve the line of sight. So they want to remove that. And you know, at the same time, we have voted in favor of daylighting, which is essentially leaving 20 feet.
Right.
So I think we have a problem with that, and a lot of people have a problem with that because it's in conflict with the safety features we're trying to get.
Right, and if we don't want even cars to park within 20 feet, you're gonna let someone build the roadway, and that doesn't make any sense.
That's an issue. And then finally, for us, I wanted to have in this legislation a clarification of the 10 feet rule and do it as a radius rather than doing straight in front.
It's a clear path.
Right, the clear path. So I would have liked that clarification to make its way in the law so that we don't have to go back and forth and say, no, it's outside, it's not, etc. Or the recess or whatever.
And are you would you deal with the, whatever you call it, the indentation issue?
Yeah, the recess.
So that it would have to be a straight, uninterrupted, uncurving line.
Or it has to be the clear path, right? I mean.
Right, then it can't be the winding
It
yellow
can't be
brick
like,
road.
oh, we are winding and now it's 8 feet and now it's 12 feet and now it's 8 feet. And so that's the piece which is not in there that I would recommend we want to see in there so that it resolve that issue, which is coming up all the time. So that's it. These are the
So
changes.
the changes would be those two,
Right.
oh, wait, no, it's 3, right? It's
No, that's only 2.
20 feet and the clear
Right.
path.
Right.
Okay.
So we would propose that, and we can write a letter about that. Right, I can take that letter and I think the rest of it is fine. I mean, I presume we are in agreement that the roadway can go 12 months, right?
Yeah, and they make clear that it has to be, they have to deal with sanitation and street snow removal.
You see, I would prefer the roadway 12 months because I think it would put less pressure on the sidewalk. If people could put them in the roadway, then they would be less obsessed with one more. You don't think so? Okay, fine, that's.
I agree, and I think it helps business owners and restaurants not have to take it down and rebuild and stuff.
Yeah, oh no, that's not livable.
But learned sadly from the past, you have to worry about getting run over by a plow and having your whole thing smashed in.
Yeah.
Which also happens.
Yeah,
twice.
Twice.
Okay.
So
I think we have,
that's the thing, we would have a resolution that says, we don't want the 20 feet removed. And we want the recess, the clear path measurement clarified.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think Max has been waiting patiently to speak, maybe others. Max, do you?
Yes, thanks, Frank. And thanks, Christine, for that overview. So, Max
You're getting
Bookman
casual
again.
You're getting
What's that?
casual. You're getting casual after 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the jacket and tie are off now. I'm General and Legislative Counsel to the New York City Hospitality Alliance, and I'm speaking to you in that capacity. For those who don't know, the Hospitality Alliance is a several thousand member strong trade association. We represent bars and restaurants throughout the 5 boroughs. New York's bars and restaurants strongly support this introduction, Intro 1421. We're extremely grateful to Councilmember Ressler for introducing it, for Councilmember Menon for her advocacy behind it, and the other sponsors who have signed on to the bill as well. Just to give you some context, after the success of the COVID era program, which was highly permissive and hugely popular with New Yorkers, we had high hopes that the new program would be a success as well, but it clearly has become troubled. Just some data before COVID, under the DCA Sidewalk Cafe program, which existed for decades before COVID, you had on average 1,200 licensed sidewalk cafes, and there weren't any roadway cafes. At the height of the COVID era program, at any one time, you had 14,000 businesses participating in the COVID era program. So it are larger by an order of magnitude. But under this new law, we've seen a major contraction once again, even though the law was designed to expand and sort of capitalize on those gains from the COVID era program. We've seen a major contraction. 3,000 applications were filed compared to, again, the 14,000 that were during the COVID era program. And it's been brutal in the outer boroughs in particular. In the Bronx, for example, 80% reduction in the businesses that were under the COVID era program versus now. So I agree with Christine's analysis of the major aspects of what this law would enact. By far, the number one complaint that we get at the Hospitality Alliance from members about the roadway cafes is the seasonal nature of it. That we did a survey of our members and of bars and restaurants. The number one reason that bars and restaurants cite for not applying for a roadway cafe under this program, if they had one before during the COVID era program, was because of the seasonal nature of it. It's too expensive to build these things up every season and then take them down. There was an idea that a marketplace would develop, third-party businesses that would sort of be in the business of facilitating these sort of fabricated designs that would take care of all of the construction and storage during the winter. Those businesses have proven to be extremely costly, and it's just not been a cost that businesses have been willing to bear. So we're really pleased to see that moving the roadway program year round is in the legislation, and we're great. I'm just glad to hear just from the comments from the committee tonight that it seems like that BLP is considering being supportive of that. Just one note on on Christine's point on the radius and clear path issue. I mean, the majority of this legislation focuses on roadway cafes. The only aspect of it that focuses on really in a substantive way on sidewalk cafes is how it expands availability of sidewalk cafes and roadway cafes to food retail businesses. So these are businesses that are not licensed by the health department, but are instead licensed by the State Department of Ag and Markets, like grocery stores, certain bakeries. They currently can't participate in sidewalk or roadway cafes, but they would be able to. But other than that, this is really a roadway cafe bill. And of course, the disagreement that we've had about how to measure clear path has really been focused on sidewalk cafes. So we think there ought to be more to come. There are reforms to the sidewalk cafe law that we'd like to see as well. Hopefully that'll be in another bill. Our hope would be that you save that comment for that bill. And I'm of course happy to answer any questions that anybody has, but we're really pleased to see this bill introduced.
What's the logic of reducing the corner clearance from 20 feet to 5 feet? I mean,
So it's not something that we asked for. We saw it in the bill, and it's there. We were surprised as an industry to see how significant the DOT's regulations required these setbacks from a corner. I mean, it's as many as 20 feet back. That wasn't anywhere in the law. It was in the regulations. That's really, really far back, especially when you consider that under the new regulations, under the new program, you can't have the full on sort of like sheds that you had during the COVID era, which really could block visibility. And so when you're talking about just some umbrellas, that could be just as high as a vehicle. We think a more, I think the logic is it's a more reasonable setback is something less than 20 feet is it should be permitted.
Yeah, but the point we're making is there's a very strong movement now to not even let vehicles be parked within 20 feet of a corner for safety reasons. So whatever you think about a roadway cafe, it is more obstructionist than a parked car in terms of.
Well, it doesn't eliminate the daylighting. It talks about 8 feet. And so, I mean, I'm not an expert on daylighting. I don't know if there are accepted standards on that, but it does say 8 feet.
Okay. All right. Janine, is there anybody else who, Mike has his hand up, but anybody else left from the public or from a non-committee?
No, just Mike.
Okay, Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, this is a question for everybody who's read this proposed legislation, and Max too. Some of these places, these grocery stores and whatever that had sidewalk cafes before, all of a sudden can't have them because they weren't included in the new rules. Do the new rules apply to sidewalk cafes as well?
Yeah, so under this proposed legislation, if you're a bakery or a supermarket or a bodega, and you don't have a health department license, but you are licensed by New York State Ag and Markets, you'd be eligible for a sidewalk cafe and a roadway cafe.
Good, because Hudson Market up here on 10th Avenue always had these great tables out there and all that business, and lots of place to you can walk around, lots of sidewalk space. So I'm happy to hear that. I will go tell him personally that things are changing, hopefully.
Well, hopefully, there's only a proposed bill at the
No,
moment.
I know. I'm going to tell him, keep an eye out.
All right. See, I think I would still keep the 2-point cap.
Yeah.
For it to keep making our clear path position known.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's important.
All right, any further discussion from the committee?
We'll do a letter.
Yes, I think we need to vote on that, and you'll do that?
Yeah.
Great.
All those in favor? Your letter?
Aye.
Great.
One abstention.
Okay.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for your time.
All right, thanks for sticking around. Let us hear your views. Take care. Haven't seen you for a while, Max.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of cases in front of you, but I'm not here as often.
Yeah, Bill's been doing a good job.
Good, glad to hear it. I think so too. I watch all the videos.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Gotta push this bill to get more business.
Good night, everybody. So I think we're adjourned.
All right.
Yeah.
Good night.
Now we gotta pack everything up.
Leave the equipment here.
Even what?